Talmud says that when the month of Adar enters, we have to increase our joy. We're currently in the first of the 2 months of Adar because it's a Jewish leap year. And the next month of Adar is when we will celebrate the holiday of Purim, probably the most joyous of Jewish holidays. The Talmud has this line, when Adar enters, you increase your joy, which lesson number 1 is that you always have to have a semblance of joy in your life. We're not saying to create joy, we're saying to increase joy. So I want to tell you an amazing personal lesson into the definition of joy. And I was once accompanying my teacher, Rabbi Weinberg of blessed memory. I had a custom, as some of you know, to pick him up from his car when he parked in the old city of Jerusalem. I would greet him by his car, open the door, help him out of his car, carry his briefcase, and escort him to his office in the yeshiva, Yeshiva Torah, opposite the kotel. And there was one day when I perhaps had not had enough coffee, and I was a little bit grumpy. Can you imagine such a thing? And he looked at me, and he had a nice little, as we say, a zetz on the face, and said, "Why aren't you happy?" And I said, "I don't know, it's early, no coffee, not much sleep, blah, blah, blah." He gave me another zetz, and shook his head and disapprovingly. And now, as a student, you know that your job is to be quiet and listen to the lesson at hand. And he said to me the following, and it was life-changing, and I still remember where I was standing when I heard this lesson from Rabbi Weinberg, a definition of joy that really stuck with me. And he said, you know, when you see these people winning these $300, $400 billion lotteries, you see them standing there with that goofy smile and those huge checks that are worthless just for the cameras. He said, what are those people feeling? Well, I said, probably very happy. He said, why? Well, because they just won $500 million. He said, nonsense. You know, these coal miners in Pennsylvania, the people who are working minimum wage, or your average citizen that all of a sudden gets handed on a silver platter $100 million, they have no idea what that means. They have no concept of what that money actually entails to them. They have no experience or frame of reference. So they're not happy about the actual money in their hands. Rather, what is the definition of their joy, or the root of their joy? The root of their joy is that the potential, the opportunities that are presented to them are now endless. This money, or this huge check for the cameras with this goofy smile, represents limitless potential. That's the definition of living with joy, with simcha. That you realize that you are a human being endowed with great capabilities, given by your Creator, a beautiful mind, a soul, a heart, Judaism, Shabbat, and all the other gifts that we have. And if we truly recognize that, that'll cause us great joy. And we realize that there's so much more to do in this world that'll cause you even greater joy. And so he turned to me and said, I'm an older man already. I'm slow. I cannot accomplish half of the things that I wanted to accomplish when I was young. You're young, early 20s. You have the whole world in front of you. It's at your feet. You should be dancing with joy every day for the limitless potential and opportunities that you represent. And on the spot he said, now dance for that realization. And he made me do a little jig in the parking lot of the old city. As a postscript, we kept on walking towards his office, and we ran into another student of his, a friend of mine, Shimi Kaufman, who also looked a little mopey. And he said, what is this? I have a whole yeshiva of depressed people. He said the same thing to him. And then the three of us, after that lesson, repeated to Shimi. The three of us, Shimi, myself, and Rabbi Weinberg, did a little dance before we entered the building, and I escorted him to his office. When Adar enters, we increase our joy because we realize in this month that we are so special as a nation. We're endowed with so many gifts. So is humanity, but we have perhaps more. We have an instruction book for living called the Torah, which helps us concretize our mission, fulfill our actualize our potential, realize the capabilities that we have inside of us to change humanity, which is really the Purim story as well. And that knowledge alone, without even doing anything about it, should give us incredible, deep-seated, longing joy. And we hope and pray that that joy extends to the entire Jewish people, brings peace to Israel, the hostages home and the soldiers home, so we can have total simcha completely across the entire Jewish world, and especially in the land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom.